Well, how's everyone doing today? This is Mitch coming to you live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop, Austin, Texas, for another live stream where we talk about anything you want to talk about, really. Just jump into chat if you're with us, and we'll answer questions or talk to you about anything you want to talk about. Otherwise, we'll handle the topics of YouTube and social media. We'll try to do the best we can and try to come up with some value for you today if you'll stick with us, hang around. We've got some things that we could talk about. So if you're with us, this is an open call. If you've stopped by and found us online, found us on YouTube or found us on Facebook, whatever, jump right in and let's have a conversation today about what's going on in your world. As you can tell, I've done a little bit of switching things around. This is stream number 41, believe it or not. 41. We've had 41 streams, and only 3 of those live streams have caused problems. Yesterday was one of those problems. Somehow, I forgot to hit the go live button on the live stream studio. There's a button that comes up at the upper right corner of your screen when you go into YouTube Studio, go live, and especially if you schedule the stream in advance like I do, you get your thumbnail and the title and all that stuff filled out ahead of time. When you open that thing up, there's a button up there that says go live. The problem is if you go live without the scheduled portion, if you don't schedule the live, you just hop on and go live, that go live button doesn't come up. So I was not aware of that. And so I failed to hit the go live button. So the entire stream yesterday was never broadcast. It never went live. But that's okay. You live and learn. This is all about learning, trying to do the best we can. And every day we learn something new. That's why I wanted to do these daily live streams so that I could, somehow get the experience. I wanted to, as quickly as possible, get comfortable with doing live streams. And so that's what we're dealing with. And as you can see, I'm flipping around my scenes here, playing around with I'm using OBS, and I've got some what we call scenes on the left side of the panel, and we can switch between scenes. Here's an intro scene. There's a full screen. Then I've got an iPhone set up as a separate view, of separate angle. This is coming off my iPhone. And then I've got a Logicam set up on the other side. Now the Logicam, you'll notice, it's a different quality of camera. It's different than the iPhone. You can sure see the difference. And then the full screen is a little different as well. But I like having various angles that I can switch between. And then I've got other scenes here I'm playing around with as well. I've added this one today, which is something new. This is a list of notes that I'm going to go through. Just shows what we're going to sort of go through today. And then if I come up with something that I need to make note of, I'll just write it down. somebody may come up with some idea or something, or I may think of something that I will want to try to remember, and I'll be able to just hop in here and write it down. Otherwise, this is sort of our agenda for the day, and you'll notice right now we're on the update portion here. The update odds and ends, problems with verifying the channel. That's what I want to talk about next, because if you're going to have more than one channel, then you've got to be aware of this verification process on YouTube. There's 3 levels of verification when you start a channel. The basic level allows you to upload videos, but they can only be 15 minutes in length. And you don't get to upload customized thumbnails. That's the other thing. And there's other restrictions. It's just a very basic tier. And that's when you first start your channel. Then the second stage is the verification by phone number. And that opens up new features when you get verified by phone number. The problem is, for those of us who have more than one channel, you can only verify 2 channels a year with one phone number. Now, it's not a big issue because most people have access to more than one phone number. They've got their wife's phone, or they've got a child with a phone, or they've got a landline at their house, or they've got a business phone. So it's really no big issue, except for somebody like me who has none of those things. All I've got is my cell phone. I've just got one number. So I'm figuring out how to get the other 2 channels verified. I've got 2 channels verified by phone, so I'm tied down to that. But I've got 2 more channels that I want to get verified to open up all the features. And so I'm going to probably buy a burner phone. I've already got the phone, and I've got the SIM card. I just need to pay $5 to open up the phone and get a number. So for $5, it's going to cost me probably $5 to get the other 2 channels verified by phone. That's the second tier. And then the last level is you've got to send them a photo ID or have some sort of a photo recognition system that they send you via your email, showing that you're a real person. And once you do all 3 of those things, you get the phone number verification, and then you get the facial recognition verification. Then all of the features of the YouTube stream is available, of the YouTube video channel. So, but you can only, the phone number is the hiccup. You've just got to be sure you've got an extra phone number that you can use and that's only if you have more than 2 channels. So most people only have 1 or 2 channels, so it shouldn't be a problem for most of you. But for me, since I've got 4 channels, I ran into that problem yesterday trying to get all 4 verified. And so that's the issue I've had with the verification process. And it's just a hassle. It's not any big deal. It's just something to be aware of. So now these people that have dozens of channels, they may have 10 or 12 channels. I guess they have half a dozen phone numbers that they can use, which is no big deal. It just takes some organization, I suppose. So it's crazy to have that many channels anyway. I mean, who in their right mind would have, 4 channels is too many. But to go more than 4 seems insane. Now, one of the 4 channels that I have is really sort of a dumping channel. It's not a channel that I even care about. It's a place where I stick videos that don't belong anywhere else. If they don't belong on the other 3 channels, then I will stick them there. And they are videos that I have created and posted to YouTube over the years. I posted my first video back in 2007, I believe it was, in the fall of 2007, when I was traveling through the Southwest and I was doing a vlog. So I posted a lot of videos back in 2007, 2008 that have just been sitting on YouTube. And I had nowhere to place them, and I didn't want to just delete them. So, and I didn't want to necessarily make them inactive or put them in the other categories, you know. So I created this fourth channel. It's just sort of a garbage channel, a dumping channel, a channel where I can just place a video, or if I want to do a short, just for the heck of it, if I want to do some sort of a short, and it doesn't belong on the other three channels that I've got, then I can post it there. And who knows? We'll see what kind of traffic we can get. Not much telling. The garbage channel may be the one that becomes monetized. You never know in this crazy game of YouTube. So, but the other three channels are all pretty much tied together. It's my art channel and my channel that's tracking my travels and the purchase of a van, which I'm going to work on over the next few months. Try to buy a van and turn it into a traveling home for a year. I'm going to travel, and we'll be posting on YouTube and doing live streams from the road. That's the plan. So I got a channel that's going to follow that process. And then I've got this channel, which of course is dedicated to basically interest media, YouTube talk, and anything else that comes up. It's a live stream channel, basically, where I'm going to be doing my live streams, and we'll open up to build community and to build engagement with people I run across during my journeys. And so that's the name of the game. And since I am an artist and I spent so much money and I've got 2 fine art degrees and I was an artist for 10 years, it made sense to have an art channel where I can post my art and interact with other artists. So that's where we're headed. That's our game plan, and I'm going to stick to it. So that's the update portion of today. So if you've come across us and want to drop in and say hello, just drop in the chat and say howdy doody. Let me know what's going on. We're just hanging out at the coffee shop. I'll give you a quick view of the coffee shop, let you see what's going on. Not much happening, kind of slow. It's not too bad. This is my setup, as you can see here. It was really busy earlier today, but I'm hoping by the afternoon things will settle down. I think they will. I don't think it'll be too bad. I first started these live streams starting at 9 a.m. in the morning and did 20 live streams at 9 a.m. And it did okay. It wasn't bad. Did that for 20 episodes, and then I moved it to 10 a.m. for 20 episodes, because what we're doing is we're trying to experiment a little bit. We're trying to discover, when you're doing a live stream, what's the best time of day. Now, if you go to Perplexity or ChatGPT and you ask AI to help you with a time of day to stream, it'll come back and say the best time is 6 to 9 p.m., early evenings when people are at home during the week, and maybe mid-afternoons on weekends or early mornings on weekends, like 9, 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. But since I'm dedicated to doing live streams in a public location from a coffee shop, and I'm going to be limited by the hours of the coffee shop. And this coffee shop closes at 7 during the week, and also on weekends they close at 7. So I've got to be done and out of here by 7. So I figured the latest I could probably logistically go live from this particular coffee shop would be probably 4 o'clock. So I'm at I thought 2 o'clock would be a good test. So for the rest of the year, throughout the month of December, we're going to come weekdays, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time from the Lamppost Coffee Shop, and we're going to see how that flies, how that goes. The other portion of our experiment, the other thing we're doing is we are experimenting with content on the channel. We're going to see if you can build a channel based primarily on live streams. And the plan is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these live streams on weekdays, and then each day, each morning, I'm going to download the live stream, re-edit it, create a 15 to 20 minute video, and post it as a regular video based on the content of the live stream. So we're going to let the live stream sort of provide the content, and then I'll pull out the good parts, if there are any, and create a normal, regular video based on content from the live stream. And then we'll post it as a regular video. And then we'll mix in other videos along the way as we go. I probably won't do many shorts. Probably, that's what I'm thinking now. So the experiment portion is to see if we can build a channel based on live streams as the major content. And we'll just see if that works or not. I don't know if that's ever been done before, because I guess a podcast, in a sense, is a live stream. You can do a podcast as a live stream and then post it as a podcast. I suppose you could do that as well. So I'm not real sure where this falls. I guess I need to do some more experimenting and some more research and see if there's other YouTubers out there trying to build a channel with nothing but a live stream, using that as their primary content. So I have no idea, but we're going to see. But I'm going to like this. I'm going to like this 2 p.m. I think this 2 p.m. hour is going to be good, because it'll give me, I don't need to start preparing for the 2 o'clock live stream until around 12:30, 1 o'clock. So that gives me all morning to work on other things and to work on my other channels and do other things. And of course, I don't do any streaming on weekends. Weekends are open as well. So, but I think the afternoon hours will be good, because it's going to help me with my energy level too. I think I'm more awake, and I've had lunch, and I've had plenty of coffee, and I'm usually up and, ready to go by noon. So boy, this shirt is bothering me right here. My scarf, my bandana. That's my trademark. My trademark is my bandana. I like wearing a bandana. Keeps my neck warm. But sometimes it just drives me crazy. I don't know why. What do you think? Let me know in chat. What do you think of bandanas? Bandana wear. I may get these are smaller bandanas. These are the 12, 13-inch bandanas. I need to get the bigger ones. Like a cowboy used to wear in those old Western movies, where it covers the whole shoulder. Looks like a scarf. I may try that. I do like bandanas, though. They add a little color to the fashion statement. So there's that. Well, let's see. What else are we going to talk about this morning? I was just sort of kind of giving you an update, sort of giving you a breakdown of what's going on in my world. Why don't you drop into chat and let me know what's going on with yours? I'm keeping an eye on the live stream. Right now, the stream health is excellent, so we shouldn't be having much lag. That's good. And looks like we are streaming. We're 25 minutes in to this live stream today already, so that's good. Had I checked this yesterday, I would have noticed that it was not live at all. It was basically dead. So I've learned my lesson. Keep an eye on the stream conditions, because when you're doing this yourself, you don't have anybody helping you. You just have to keep an eye on everything at once, and you're balancing a lot of plates. So you just do the best you can. Since you're running the control system as well as doing the on-air talent, as they say. I don't know if you would call what I do talent, but that's what they call it, on-air talent. When I was a radio broadcaster in college, and just out of college, I was a DJ at a country and western station, and they always referred to us as the talent. And I always thought, well, it doesn't take a lot of talent. I mean, you sit there and read a script and flip records all day. Doesn't take a lot of talent to do that, but that's the name of the game anyway. Well, let's see. What else we got going on? What are we going to look at here? Oh, I did come across this. I saw this quote by Bukowski, which I thought was a good quote, and I wanted to share it with you. And he said, now I assume he said this, you have to be careful when you see stuff like this on social media. You don't know, but it came from a good source, a valid source, a source that I trust. So I didn't double check it, but it's a good quote, even if Bukowski didn't say it, but we're going to assume he did. He said, the problem with the world is that intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. And I thought that really fit those of us who are content creators, because those of us who are intelligent, smart people that are creating content will always be asking about, we'll always be questioning things. We'll always be full of doubt. We won't take anything for granted. We'll always be asking questions about the algorithm. Do we have doubts about the algorithm? Do we have doubts about those big YouTubers we see, about how they got their numbers? Did they really get 1 million views on that video, or did they play some sort of trick in order to get those numbers? What kind of things are they doing to get those kind of numbers? Because some of those numbers are just outrageous. So if I'm a smart person, I'm going to be asking and questioning everything. I'm not going to trust anybody or trust anything. I'm going to try to keep my eyes open. While the stupid ones, they're the ones who think they've got it all figured out. They're the ones who will promise you $10,000 a month if you follow their system. They're the ones that say that thumbnails and titles have to be done a certain way or you won't get any views. Well, I got to tell you, I've seen some lousy videos, and I've seen some lousy thumbnails, and I've seen some lousy titles, and I've seen them all be successful. So you tell me, you want some fancy schmancy thumbnail and title? I guess you're trying to beat the odds the best you can, and certainly a good thumbnail and a good title goes a long way in getting those views and getting that audience. But for every excellent YouTube channel that has great thumbnails and great titles, there's a YouTube channel that is also successful that just flies by the hip. And they don't spend any time on thumbnails or titles at all. They just let it all out. They just turn the camera on and record, and what comes out comes out. They don't really care much about titles and thumbnails. And I've seen them succeed as well. So, who's to say? We're talking about communicating with human beings, and whenever you're in the communication business, there's no single one correct way to get anything done. So, I guess the thing to take away here is if you're going to be smart, if you're going to be intelligent, you're going to question everything. You're going to keep your eyes open. And you're going to have your doubts. You're going to have your doubts about what you see. And if you see these people on YouTube who think they've got it all figured out, they've got the answers, then maybe they're not so smart. It's the stupid ones who are full of confidence. So thank you, Mr. Bukowski. I hope you said that because it's a good quote. Well, let's see. Let me know what you're doing. Just as a reset, my name is Mitch. I'm coming to you live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop on a Tuesday morning. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Everything's going okay. And we're getting ready for the holidays. Let me see here what we got here. In terms of, look at all these thumbnails. You talk about, you got to have a good thumbnail. Well, look at that stuff. Which of those thumbnails really float your boat? Are there any of them there that are really all that great? I mean, just glancing through these thumbnails, do any of them stick out? Do any of them really say, click on me? Which is more important to you, the thumbnail or the title? What do you look at when you first go through the screen here? Do you look at the thumbnail or do you look at the title? Or both? The conventional wisdom is that the thumbnail itself, the picture, grabs your attention just for the split second. Just makes your eyes go to it, and then you glance at the title. And within a couple of seconds, that title is going to hook you in or it won't. It just depends on what you're looking for and what you're in the mood to look at. So it's all going to be based on a 2 or 3 second glance at the thumbnail and a quick look at the title. And then, of course, you're going to have the intro. Once they click on the video, then you've got to grab them that first 10 seconds. You've got to give them a reason to hang on tight and to stick through the video. So it's not just the title and the thumbnail that are important. It's also the content. Well, I think what I want us to do is I think we're going to, I came across this video by Colt Kirwan. And Colt has this what he calls his lunchbox theory. And I thought it was interesting enough that we would take a look at it. Let you know what you think. Let me know what you think.
Ooh, you a little hungry? I think it's time for my lunchbox theory. So when doing YouTube, you really shouldn't overlook thumbnails and titles, and to explain this better, I created a metaphor that I'm coining as the lunchbox theory. Most of my videos start like a basic sandwich, a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's a sandwich. It gets the job done, but it doesn't really have you coming back for more. You're not left thinking, man, I can't wait to have another one. Your thumbnail and title are like the lunchbox itself. A brown paper bag isn't that exciting, and when you check inside and get a bologna sandwich, you might feel a little disappointed. Now, when you're browsing your homepage and looking for a video to watch, you're going to scroll past those brown paper bags because you're conditioned to think that all of them have a bologna sandwich inside. And even if this wasn't the case and the video inside was amazing, people still might not give it a chance because the last time they clicked on a paper bag, it wasn't that appealing. But what if you had a sick Scooby-Doo lunchbox? Immediately, it catches your attention, and as a viewer, you're curious to checking out, oh, what's different about this lunchbox? Now, if there's a bologna sandwich inside, you lost your trust in the Scooby-Doo lunchbox. But imagine there's a banging sandwich with pirate booty and Fiji water. That's my lunchbox theory. The creativity and story is the surprise you get from when you open the lunchbox, and your thumbnail title needs to stand out in order for the viewer to even give it a chance in the first place. It's still work in progress, still working on the science behind this theory, but now every time somebody clicks on your thumbnail, they know they're in for a treat.
All right, so the lunchbox. He's talking about the lunchbox theory, which is not bad. I mean, if you have an old paper sack, when you look at an old paper sack and somebody's got their lunch in it, you're probably thinking sandwich and maybe some chips. But what if you look inside that paper sack and, there's really some sort of fancy schmancy, really excellent meal there, maybe from the, maybe from the Cheesecake Factory, stuck in that old paper sack. Well, kind of a surprise. But on the other hand, if you flip that around, maybe you've got a fancy schmancy sack or lunchbox that gets people's attention, and maybe it's really a wonderful lunchbox, and then you open it up and it's got nothing in it but maybe an old, rotten apple and a banana in it. And that lets you down as well. So what we're trying to do is come up with a fancy schmancy lunchbox that gets people's attention, that looks really great. And when you open it, you've also got some great food inside. So the idea is to have everything working together. Have a quality thumbnail, have a quality title, and have quality content. Make them all bangers. So, having said that, we've been spending all week talking about storytelling. And I know I've buried the lead. I'm half an hour into the live stream, and I'm just now talking about storytelling. When you look at the thumbnail for today, the thumbnail said, finding a story. Find a story in every video. So that's what we're looking at today, was specifically, we're assuming that every piece of content that we create, every video that we create can have a story, and how important it is to have a story as a part of our videos, because people are so naturally drawn to narratives and to the story. And, you think back in the old days prior to the written language, when people were just using their mouths to communicate. They had no writing, they had no email, they didn't have anything, they didn't have any language. There was a part of our history where we didn't have a language. So how did we communicate? Well, we communicated by telling stories. So it's just important and critical to understand how deep within our psyche as humans that we like story. And you'll notice here, I've got this idea here. Storytelling works on YouTube. Does it? Does storytelling work on YouTube? Or does storytelling only work on TV and in movies and in novels? So that's the question. We're going to assume that telling a story does work on YouTube, because stories tap into the emotion and not just the logic. of our humanity. We've got to create emotion somehow in our videos, and telling stories does that. So, and also viewers stay when they feel something. It's all about emotion. If you can get people to feel something when they're watching a video, then we've gone a long way in keeping them around for a while. So it's important. Stories make you memorable in a sea of similar creators, because not every creator tells a story. They don't have a beginning, middle, and ending to their videos. Or like I like the previous video said, you know, he was talking about his sandwich. He's got his bread sandwich. He's got his bread, his meat in the middle, and then topped with another piece of bread. It's all sort of a sandwich. Well, a story's got a beginning, middle, and an end, and it's got a point. It's got a message of some kind. You know, Jesus talked with parables. He taught these basic human condition lessons that he had to get across to people by telling them stories, called parables. He was a great storyteller, but we can learn from him that if we're trying to get across some information, especially if it's information that's really deep, we want to try to illustrate it with a story. Story-driven videos. All right, let's see. The other thing about stories, as I play around with my iPad here. Come on, cooperate. Let's talk about finding story inside any video idea. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that we can find a story inside any video idea? And if that's true, how do we go about doing it? Well, think about every topic has a why it matters. When we create a video, we have to ask ourselves, well, why do we care? Why should a viewer care? Why does this particular video matter? What's the core story? And I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of videos. And I've been watching a lot of van life stories since I'm buying a van and want to become a van lifer myself in the future. I watch a lot of van life stories, and a lot of those people that are posting on YouTube about their life living in a van, it's not really driven by a narrative. All they're doing is showing a chronological walk through the day. It's sort of, here's what I did for breakfast, here's what I did for lunch, and here's what we did in the afternoon. We went for a walk. And there's really no core story. So we've got to try to figure out some way of, when we're shooting videos, come up with a core story. Ask ourselves, why does it matter? Identify the moment or tension or change in your experience. If you're going to show the day in the life of a camper at a KOA camp, if you're going to show your day that you stayed at a KOA camp, well, come up with some sort of experience that really defined the day. What happened to you that day that you can home in on? What was a moment of tension or change in that experience? Did you lose your car keys? Or did you have a flat? Or was the office closed and you were unable to rent a spot at the camp? Did the fire get out of control? Did you run out of some sort of supplies? I mean, there's got to be something that you can home in on to really show a moment that will be of interest. Focus on one clear problem. Focus on one clear problem or moment, not 5. Find one issue that you had during that day that you could home in on. And that's the problem with a lot of new creators is they give us too much information. They go for the jugular. They try to give us too much instead of keeping things simple. We want to keep things simple and try to home in on 1 or 2 things that happen that we can concentrate on in that video. So tell a story and have it provide some sort of emotional impact, sort of connect with the viewer in some way. And the best way we can connect with viewers is through story. And I'm going to try to we're going to look at a video here. The title of his channel is Strings and Sawdust. This is a short 5-minute, 42-second video. And this video was posted a year ago, so it's been up a year. And what I want to know is he got 817,000 views. That's pretty dang good. 817,000 views. Look at his thumbnail. It's got 2 words on it, just start, and a picture of him staring at the camera. It's pretty simple. He kept the text very simple, just start. And then his title is How YouTube Changed My Life with 1,000 Subscribers. So he's looking to get monetized. He's reaching that point in his YouTube journey where he's just about to get monetized. Got to have those 1,000 subscribers. So let's watch and see his video. And what we want to watch his intro. We want to pay attention to his screen presence. Does he talk to the camera, or is it basically a voiceover? How does he interact with us as a viewer? And what about the content? And ask ourselves, why does this matter? Why should I care as a viewer what he's talking about in his video? Does it really, hit me in some emotional way? Do I really care?
Months ago, I did something I've been thinking about for a long time. I bit the bullet and started making YouTube videos. Since that first upload, I posted a new video every week. Some did well, some flopped, and I spent way too much time obsessively refreshing the YouTube Analytics app, hoping for that breakthrough moment. I watched so many videos from new YouTubers trying to understand how the algorithm works, and quickly realized everyone's experience is wildly different. So I thought I'd share my journey. Right on the cusp of becoming monetized, this is my time capsule from this point in my YouTube journey. Who knows, maybe I'll revisit it someday if I'm lucky enough to hit 10,000 subscribers.
Okay, so it looks like he's going to just do a voiceover. He's not going to talk on camera, which is perfectly fine. So if you're a creator that is nervous about speaking on camera and you don't want to speak on camera, well, just do a voiceover like he's doing. Just videotape what you're going to videotape and then come back later and record your voice as a narration over the video. It's perfectly good. So the main thing is to shoot good video. Have lots of angles, lots of close-ups, lots of, wide shots, landscape. Use all the advantage you can of taking all the various visuals, the angles.
I'm naturally an introverted person. I love spending time alone on woodworking projects or going down endless YouTube rabbit holes. Over the years, I've watched countless small creators grow their hobby-based channels, and the idea of giving it a go myself started to take root. Now, people who know me wouldn't expect me to start a YouTube channel, so I decided to do it quietly, without telling anyone, no expectations, no pressure, just to see what might happen. I knew I wanted my channel to focus on woodworking, workshop projects, and built guitars, and the occasional tool review to keep things varied. My first video was a review of a new miter saw I bought. It's awkward, clunky, and just not great. But it's still there because everyone has to start somewhere. Feel free to check it out if you want to feel better about posting your first video. I shot it on my iPhone with a built-in microphone and minimal editing experience. As an introvert, putting myself out there felt like a huge leap, but I hit publish and nothing happened. Views trickled in, no likes, no comments. It was honestly a bit of an anticlimax.
But that's okay. You know, he made the first step. Look, the first step for any creator is to post. You've got to post that first video. You've got to break through the fear and just do it. And so he's already succeeded just by posting that video. And let the results take care of themselves. The results will happen later. Right now, the main thing is to post videos.
But I kept going. After watching advice videos, I realized consistency was key. I committed to posting weekly and started documenting a guitar build. Again, nothing happened. But something unexpected started to change. YouTube gave me a reason to prioritize my woodworking projects. Life often gets in the way, but by committing to weekly uploads, it meant I was carving out time for what I loved. Of course, building things for a channel comes with challenges. Time in the workshop, editing, voiceovers, thumbnails, it all adds up. But I stuck with it and eventually things started to pick up.
Well, it also helps. He loves making guitars, and that's what YouTube taught him was that, hey, I love making this guitar. I love these wooden guitars. And so that's what I'm going to make videos about. And it certainly helps you, you know, if you do something on YouTube that you love doing, something that you're passionate about, that will help you get through these times when you're not getting any views because you're having so much fun, you really don't care. You're going to push through it.
The views came first, then the comments, then...
Now look at this graph. You'll notice he's dead all of these weeks. Look at the bottom of that graph. No activity, nothing. And then all of a sudden, there was a huge uptick. And this is pretty typical. How many YouTubers quit before that uptick, before that climb, before that success? You know, they see all of this inactivity and all of these flatlining, lack of views, and they quit right before that video takes off and they start getting traction. So you've got to stay tough. You've got to stay at it.
Subscribers. Slowly but surely, people began finding my videos and enjoying them. One turning point was when I tackled the project I've been putting off for years, building a new workbench. The pressure of weekly uploads pushed me to start, and I turned it into a series. Each week, more people tuned in, and their support with comments kept me motivated. By this point, I'd started to relax into my style. My voiceovers became less serious, pretty unlike this one, more self-deprecating, and viewers seemed to connect with that. Then, out of nowhere, my first video got picked up by the algorithm. It was a quick review of a pocket hole jig I'd used for a workbench. I threw it together with recycled footage, added a silly spit take and an AI-generated one-trick pony joke, and poked a bit of fun at Americans in the voiceover. To my surprise, it took off. 5,000 views, 10,000 views, 20,000 views, and eventually started slowing down with just over 23,000 views. The comments flew in, mostly lighthearted.
Okay, you remember his thumbnail? His thumbnail looks like a screenshot of this scene right here. So you don't have to have a fancy for your thumbnail. Just take a screenshot.
20,000 views, and eventually started slowing down with just over.
There it is. This is his thumbnail. This is where he went through and grabbed a screenshot of one of his video and used it on his thumbnail, which is an easy way to do it. And then he just put those big, bold letters, "Just Start," in the background.
23,000 views. The comments flew in, mostly lighthearted. My subscriber count jumped. Turns out not taking yourself too seriously works. After that, other videos began picking up momentum. I tried replicating the pocket hole video's success with a table saw review, but it didn't take off. Lesson learned, YouTube will humble you quickly, and nothing is guaranteed. Still, I stayed consistent, and after about 4.5 months, I finally hit 1,000 subscribers. As I'm recording this, I'm currently about 600 hours away from the magic 4,000 hours that you need to join the YouTube Partner Program and monetize the channel. Starting a YouTube channel is a slog. Most channels take over a year to hit 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours, and it's a ton of work. Planning content, filming, editing, and of course stressing about analytics, but it's been worth it. I've learned so much, prioritized my hobby, developed new skills, and connected with people who enjoy my sketchy techniques, self-deprecating humor, and tedious jokes. As I approach this first milestone, I wanted to reflect on how far I've come. Maybe I'll make another video if I hit 10,000 subs. I might take 10 years or 10 weeks, you never know with YouTube. For now, I'm focused on improving my workshop, making better videos, and trusting the process. If you're thinking about starting your channel, here's my advice. Just start. You don't need everything figured out. Be yourself and do what you love. And trust that the right people will find you. It might take time, but keep going.
That's pretty good advice. Just start. Create videos about what you love doing. And don't sweat, don't stress over the analytics. Just keep posting. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So, good advice. And it's hard. It's very hard. Because I've been doing these live streams since October now. I've been doing these live streams. I'm on number 41. Today's the 41st live stream I've done. And I've not gotten any traction yet. I've not found my audience. I'm still looking for my audience. But they're out there somewhere. And one of these days, I'm going to find them. One of these days, everything's going to click. And my live stream will take off. And I am waiting for that day. But I'm going to keep going because I enjoy doing them. I enjoy talking about YouTube. I enjoy talking about social media. And I want to learn as much as I can about the process. And I want to meet people and help people. And if I can find people to help me. And we work on this thing together. So that's the name of the YouTube game, is consistency and patience and authenticity, being yourself and trying to hang on when times are tough. And times will be tough. It's not an easy road. So hang in there. Well, it looks like, is there anything else I want to cover today in my notes? I think we've pretty well covered everything that I see in my notes here. Jump into chat. You got one last chance before we go. Anybody have any comments? Anything they want to ask? Because I think our time is just about up. We've been at it now about an hour or so. I think we're going to close it down for today. I do appreciate you being with me. And if you're watching this video down the line sometime, go ahead and make a comment. Let me know what's going on. Engage with me, as they say. You know, that's what Captain Picard would always say before the starship would take off, the Starship Enterprise. He would say, engage. Well, that's what I'm telling you. Engage with me. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday, December the 3rd. I'll be back here at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time for another day of YouTube and social media talk. And we'll see what else comes our way. We're just sort of hanging out and going to enjoy the holiday season and see what comes up next. So go out and have a good day. Make it a good one. And we'll see you later.